from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in Anne Arundel, Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good Tuesday morning. Welcome to Ocala Talks on a cloudy yet warm, about 63 degrees. Going to go up to the mid-high 60s today. Rain will clear out. Sun will come out. Be a little chilly in the 60s. A little chillier than it usually is at this time. Be in the 60s today and tomorrow. And then the rain returns because it's the rainy season. But it could be worse. Galen Unall joins us from Life South, brought to you by Penn Flooring and Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. Galen, it could be a lot worse. We could live in Dallas or Houston.
Yeah, isn't that brutal? I mean, you look at that and you're like, ho, ho, ho. Thank goodness I don't live in Texas.
Yeah.
I like Texas.
I haven't spent the only significant time I've spent in Texas, but let's see if you can guess. Out of all the places in Texas, where do you think Tom Schmitz would have spent? I spent 7 glorious days there one time in my life.
San Antonio.
South Padre.
Oh, there you go. That's a long week.
Spring break.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a longer week, isn't it?
In 1993, we did spring break at South Padre.
There you go.
And believe me,
that's the only time you've spent any time in Texas.
Other than that, I've driven through Texas. I did the worst drive known to man. I-10.
Yeah.
That's horrible because you do the V of Texas. You go into Texas, you go down to Houston, and you go over to San Antonio, you come back up. It's a terrible, terrible trip to Texas. Takes you forever. And then I've taken 40 through Amarillo. So I've stayed in I've spent a night in the hotel in the Dallas airport. That's pretty much my Texas. Pretty much my stay in Texas. No casinos in Texas. There's no casinos in Texas.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's because Roosevelt got rid of all the Indians, I guess. I don't know.
Who knows?
Or they're Mexican and they went back to Mexico.
Well, one or the other.
U.S. citizens. Yeah, that's interesting. I would have thought you would have spent some time in there.
No.
But no casinos, yeah.
No casinos, so I never didn't spend much time there. I will tell you this, though, speaking of casinos. Do you know much about the game of poker?
Yeah, I do.
Do you know much about when your eyesight goes and you need readers? Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know that when you have the readers on your head and they should be on your eyes, and you immediately think that you're in a poker tournament, and you immediately think when the flop comes out that you flopped a flush and you bet accordingly, get all the money in, only to realize that it was 2 clubs and a spade, and you were too dumb to put your glasses on, which you need to see. Do you know how embarrassing that is?
No, you just run with it at that point. Play the hand you think you have.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that the ultimate bluff?
No, that's what happened, but I got called immediately because the guy had flopped a set of sevens. And so
that's on you.
I look like a schmuck because I got my glasses on my head. On my head.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Started in a tournament of 48 people. We're down to the final 7. 5 made the money. I go out at 7th thinking I'd flopped a flush.
Oh, that's pretty terrible. All
because I didn't put my glasses on.
You can't even call that a bad beat, Tom.
No, that's just me being stupid. That's just me being stupid.
Yeah.
Exactly, 100%.
That's unfortunate.
Oh,
that's unfortunate.
And then you got to drive back the hour and a half from where you were playing. Can I just say the steering wheel may be a little bent and warped.
Well, and I've never played poker professionally. I was in the Navy. I've played a lot of poker. Who do you yell at? I mean, how, usually in the Navy when we would lose, we always knew somebody was cheating. But what do you do in a poker tournament like that? You can't blame yourself. It's almost, is it worse than golf?
Yeah, no, here it is.
Putt.
Can I tell you what poker is? Poker is the indoor sit-down mental equivalent of golf. Yeah, yesterday
okay.
when I did that yesterday evening, because this happened yesterday evening, by the way. When I did that yesterday evening, it was as if I four-putted from 3 feet when I was on in 2 on a par 5.
Wow.
You know when you got that
That's
eagle
terrible.
putt that's like 3 feet because you got really lucky?
No,
and then you,
haven't had that in a very, 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 very long time.
but
with my own ball.
then you 4-putt from 3 feet? Yeah, that's what happened last night.
Yeah.
And you just have nobody to beat up but yourself because you're the only moron that caused it.
Oh, that's terrible.
I'm still
When's the last time you played the shores?
I'm upset about it right now. This poker thing last night.
I could tell. I'm trying to distract you. When's the last time you played
I
the shores?
I had played the shores probably in about 3 months, 2.5, 3 months. I hear it is in fantastic shape.
Well, growing up, that was the course, of the area, right? This is before, Golden Ocala, obviously, or the Ocala Country Club. And that was the course of the area because you had Pine Oaks and you had Muni.
Well, now I heard Golden Hills was pretty exclusive.
Golden Hills was, but Golden Hills you couldn't get on.
Right, because it was
It was
exclusive.
very, very. And they didn't allow juniors to play, so I
really?
could not play there. Yeah. I love Golden Hills. I think it's a fantastic layout, but I was never allowed to play it until I was, much older.
It's brutal.
So
It's brutal.
I love it. It's my favorite course. That's the last time I broke 80 was on there.
Brutal.
I love that course. Love it.
So,
But again, the Shores was always growing up was the course. And then I haven't played either one in a long time, but Muni you just can't beat right now. So
no. Although the greens are a little suspect, but they're working on them. It's wintertime. They'll come back. Hey, let me ask you this.
yeah, in another 2 weeks they'll be
Yeah.
fantastic.
Let me ask you this. Horse fever in the air. Horse fever 2020. The horses were unveiled last week at a viewing out at the old Kmart distribution center in the parking lot there. They had all of them spread out. One called Legacy, which is dedicated to the memory of former police chief Greg Graham, the late Greg Graham. A lot of different paintings on the horses. They're going to go to their forever homes once they do a tour and everything. This started in 2001. Is this a good thing for our community? All these horses that are being painted and shown around. Is it? I know it's a fundraising event, but is it also great for Ocala to have these horses dispersed all around the city?
Yeah, I don't know who would say it wasn't. It doesn't cost you anything. It's paid for by these businesses who get them in front of their businesses.
$30,000.
I think they're cool to look at. When you go down to the square and they have some there, and then when you walk into a business, I think it's fabulous.
My favorite one, I remember my favorite one, but it was the one that made the least sense to me, although it was my favorite one, because I said, if you put this out in public, it's not going to stay this nice very long. And that was the quarter horse. I understood what they were doing.
Oh,
It's a quarter
Yeah.
horse, and it was
it was fabulous.
Right.
It was fabulous, and then everybody decided I needed a quarter more than we need art.
Exactly. Remember, it was sitting on the square, and it got vandalized.
Correct.
People were taking all the quarters off of it.
Yeah, and you just really wanted to punch those people, or just have somebody. Oh, you need a quarter. Here's a quarter.
No,
It was a beautiful horse.
I like what you were going with, punching them in the larynx. I like that.
Well, and here's a quarter.
Yeah.
Both.
Now, I punched you in the larynx. You can't talk. You can barely breathe. Here's a quarter. Go call somebody who cares.
you obviously needed that quarter to pry it off. Yeah, I never understood that. You're right. That was a great design. A great design.
It really was a great design.
There was one where the solar system one was, and I don't remember all their names, but the solar one, or the solar system one was cool. I like
had all the planets on it and everything.
Yeah, there was one that was anatomically correct. That was really cool. Yeah.
They have one now. One of the ones that were unveiled this week was it's one of those. It's like looks like a Da Vinci drawing or something. You know, it's like big mechanical metal type horse look.
Yeah.
I mean, the artist renderings of these things, just the thought process that goes into them, and listen to the artists talk about it. It's amazing. And the legacy horse that was done in the for the remembrance of Greg Graham. This is the best horse of the 2020 for me. But I had a very good relationship, a personal relationship with the late police chief, so it means a little more to me, I would guess.
Yeah, I would think so. Isn't that the purpose of great art, to create that kind of emotion?
It really is, and this if once you see this horse, it's done in either black or dark blue. I couldn't tell one way or the other what because my art acumen is if it's not Beetle Bailey, I got nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that's my art acumen. I gotta look at art like prime example. I went to the Appleton 2 weekends ago. By the way, the Appleton, here's a good deal in February. The Appleton on Saturdays and Sundays, completely free to attend.
Yeah, and that's cool.
That's a good deal. And you forget how nice the Appleton is and how good of art and artifacts and all that they have in that museum, the history that's in that museum. But we went to I just was talking about it. I lost it. See, I lose my memory all the time. The Appleton. So we go to the Appleton, we're walking around, and there's these these paintings, and they're saying that, they're like summer lunch and, winter snack, winter tea and everything. And it just looks like somebody went and threw a paint can on it. There's no definition to it or anything. And I'm like, my girlfriend was like, my fiance was like, oh, that's very nice. I'm like, what the hell is it? How's that a summer lunch? What? I don't get it. She goes, well, there's summer colors, and I go, it looks like a 3-year-old just went up there with a brush and threw stuff all over the canvas. So that, my art acumen is not that great, obviously, if I can't see what art is, because the Appleton knows better than me. But these horses, I can see these horses, and I really like the art of these horses. And, it was a brainchild to raise money for the brick, and it's done very well. This is the third installment. They did it in 2001, 2011, now 2021. Every 10 years it looks like it's going to be done. And it's something that is a spectacle and a artistic point in our city that we can all talk about and really enjoy. Like you said, I don't know anyone when asked, what do you think about the horses? I don't know anyone that thinks, oh, they're garbage. They should be just put in a closet. They're no good. I don't know anyone that's ever said that.
No, it's really fantastic, and again, other towns do them, like Gainesville tried to do gators, that didn't work. It just kind of fell apart. You go to Auburn, and there's tigers everywhere. So you see them in different locations, but I think for us it really speaks to us, and I think it makes a lot of sense.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation with Galen Unall right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
We face choices every day. Some are unimportant, some are life-changing. What about the choices you make every day? Take the stairs or the elevator, baked or fried. What if your choices meant you are likely to die of heart disease this year? Palm Garden of Ocala is here for you when recovering from a hospital stay. With Palm Garden's Fast Track program and state-of-the-art facility, we have skilled nursing, therapy, and everything you'd expect for the best in care. Call 352-854-6262 for more information.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Now you did it. Are you completely insane? He's back. He, who must not be named. The man, the myth. The only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in fried pickles. Twice. Now, you asked for it. Sorta. Live and in person. It's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Tuesday morning. Sun will be up in the sky here pretty soon. Clouds will break. The sun will come out according to the weather people. Well, you know, how much trust can you put in the weather people, though? Penn Flooring, family owned and operated in Marion County for over 30 years. They're a full-service flooring company. They do both commercial and residential. Go check out their showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street here in Ocala, or give them a call at 352-351-3420. We'd also like to thank Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. They're located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street. They offer skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. If you have any questions how they're handling COVID-19, give them a call, 352-854-6262. The reason we tell you about Penn Flooring and Palm Garden is because they sponsor Galen Unall from Life South to join us every morning, and he's back on the phone lines with us now. Galen, I don't like to talk national politics with you a whole lot because I do it during the rest of the show. But every now and then I want to get your opinion on some things, and this is one of those days.
Okay.
Nancy Pelosi has said there needs to be an individual committee or an individual investigative team, kind of like was at the 9/11 Commission, to investigate the insurrection, as she calls it, on January 6th at the Capitol. I remember the 9/11 Commission. It was a bipartisan commission that really didn't let politics get in the way. They were investigating a terrorist attack that destroyed our financial district, an area in our financial district, killed almost 4,000 people. It called into question the safety in our airports. There was a whole lot that went into this, but it was bipartisan. Is there any chance in hell, do you think, we get a bipartisan committee to investigate this, the Capitol insurrection on January 6th?
No, it's a very political thing by its very nature. If President Biden really wanted to start some unity, he would start really just going, okay, this happened, let's move on. You can recognize something happening and move on, but this feeling that you have to punish everybody for their belief is for a belief that some people think is wrong. It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
It just makes. Okay, we know what happened January 6th. People stormed the Capitol. We know now that what was originally said, a cop died of blunt force trauma to the head by being hit by a fire extinguisher by one of the insurrectionists. We know now that that is false. That's erroneous, that he did not
Correct.
die from blunt force trauma. The actual New York Times article has been recalled. They've retracted that statement. We know there was a lady shot, though, by Capitol Police during the insurrection.
Correct.
We know that. We know there was a heart attack by one of the Capitol Police during the insurrection. We know that. But would he have had a heart attack at that time of day, whether there was an insurrection or not? That's up for question. We know what happened in the Capitol was ridiculous. It was a black eye on America and our history. The people who perpetrated it, if they can be proven that they destroyed or destructed any part of the Capitol, should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. But do we really, or is there really any chance we're going to get any kind of investigation into this that doesn't say Donald Trump's the Antichrist and that's what Congress thinks?
No, No, and it's not just Donald Trump anymore. It's all Republicans.
Yeah,
and,
all Republicans. 74 million people voted for Trump, and they're all terrible people.
They're all correct, and that's the bottom line, and that's the part that we just can't get past. And if Biden, his first 100 days, which we all know is the most important, wants to make it all about punishing Trump, then his presidency is not going to be very effective. Or all he wants to do is pick fights with governors of Republican states. He definitely won't be very effective.
I'm not really sure he wants to meet Ron DeSantis in a back alley right now.
Well, no, and this whole thing, and I thought DeSantis had a great press conference yesterday.
Oh, he really did with the big tech press conference. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where he basically said, "Oh, okay, you can come across the border in Mexico freely without any kind of a test, but you want citizens of my state banned from traveling." That's I think he's used the word that stinks to high heaven. So, and again, I think that's really where we're at. It's like how can we punish people for their political beliefs?
I don't understand. And if it's all about unity, and that's the key word, every presidency has a key word in its first 100 days. And
sure.
Biden's key word now is unity. I don't see how alienating 74 million people promotes unity. Maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah, and it really doesn't. And again, I think it's a way that you can instantly lose the House. Right? We have another round of elections coming up in 2 years, and it's a huge one for both parties to see if the Democrats can maintain control or if the Republicans can regain the House. I'm curious as to how it all shakes out.
My fear is, though, that there will be, if the Republicans do gain control of the House and they gain control of the Senate, that it'll just be all about retribution on the Republicans' end. They've already said, boy, you better hope we don't end up in the House, because if Kamala Harris bailed out people that were protesters, and then one of the protesters she put up bail money for went out and cracked somebody's head open and ended up with a violent battery again after she bailed him out, didn't she cause insurrection too? And we're going to impeach her. They're already talking about, if we get control of the House, we're going to impeach her. It's almost like it's tit for tat nowadays.
And if that happens, then they'll lose. I think as a society, we're done. Okay, we get it. You guys disagree. I don't think it does any good for the country to do all this little pettiness. And I know that people died and things like that. When I say pettiness, I think it's just like, you're the reason there's all these insurrections. So,
is it time, or has it long been time that we just scrap the 535 and start over anew? Just put brand new people in every position.
Well,
100 in the Senate, 435 in the House.
Well, I've always felt there's not nearly enough representation in the House. I think it should be nearly doubled. That 435 on the House side is just not enough. So when you look at if you read the Constitution, which I know you do, it's just inadequate. And the whole thing with the House is they wanted great diversity of thought, and therefore, if something did get passed, it was truly part of what America wanted. So, and you'd have less power. So, these Congress people think they have all the power in the world, and they really don't, and they shouldn't.
Well, the House does think it's much more powerful. Right now, the House thinks they run the country, and it should never be that way. It should be the checks and balances system.
Correct.
And right now, Nancy Pelosi
Absolutely
thinks
right.
she runs the country. Hey, Galen, where's the Bloodmobile today?
Hey, today we're at the 40 East Shopping Center. Come by and see us, and you can also check us out right there on the Boulevard, 1670 Silver Spring Boulevard. Please just get the life, donate blood.
Galen, brought to you by Penn Flooring and Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. He's with Life South. Go get blood, folks. Galen, talk to you tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Tom. Be good to you.
Galen Unall from Life South. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pride.
President Biden on Sunday called on Congress to strengthen gun laws. He added several provisions, including background checks on all gun sales, banning assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, and eliminating legal immunity for gun manufacturers. Antonio Cover with Gun Owners of America tells Fox News this push is nothing more than political grandstanding.
Biden's plan to focus on this idea that the AR-15 or rifles is the most important issue just shows that it's more about a political grandstanding than actual real solution.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi, the Democrat from California, said Sunday that Congress would work with Biden to enact 2 background check bills. The mainstream media's most prominent fact checkers have been silent about Vice President Kamala Harris's debunked claim that the Biden administration did not inherit a coronavirus vaccine rollout plan. Harris directly contradicted White House advisor Dr. Anthony Fauci's remarks last month. We are USA Radio News.
The stress levels of Americans may be at an all-time high. From education to business to basic needs to politics, the 2020 pandemic-related stressors are pushing many of us to near breaking point. That's why you should consider the stress and pain-relieving products from sunny-bay.com, like our lavender neck wraps and pads infused with premium Washington lavender buds. They relieve tension and relax with a soothing scent of lavender. And lifestyle expert Jennifer Bonner recommends products from Sunny Bay.
Sunny Bay's hands-free neck wrap should be your go-to pain relief solution.
Give gifts to family and friends that relieve stress and pain. Give love and care